What's up, Stormtroopers? Today we are playing Modern, and unfortunately, there's no Storm in this deck. That said, it is a combo deck, combo Cabal Pun, etc. In front of you is a Birthing Pod deck with no Birthing Pods. Instead, we have Prime Speaker Vannifar, a modern legal Birthing Pod since Birthing Pod is banned. Uh, I'll be honest, I never played Pod when it was in Modern. That said, I did play quite a bit of Pod in Standard before I started playing Delver, and it was a lot of fun. Um, this deck has had some upgrades since then that didn't exist even when Pod was legal in Modern. So you have a on curve 2 all the way up to 5 way to win with Kiki-Jiki. So one of the common ways that you win is by potting up to Kiki and then sacrificing a bird into corridor monitor and making infinite corridor monitors. Yeah. So that like there's a bunch of utility creatures in here as well. So like you have a Skyclave Apparition, you have an Eidolon of Rhetoric, Renegade Railier. I don't really like this card, if I'm being honest. I feel like it's just not a card we need. Go away, Doc. Come on. I'm trying to record a video here. Um, there we go. Uh, like, I'm not a big fan of this. I just don't think it provides that much usefulness into the deck. Like, it allows you to pot up to 3 and then get your creature that you sacrifice back. So if it's like Wall Blossoms, you get to draw another card. Like, cool. Um, I'm not in love with it. It's fine. Knight of Autumn, once again, another utility creature. But here we see the Bounding Crassus. That is your next level up after Monitor. And then you have Breaching Hippocamp into Zealous Conscripts with Kiki. You don't need to combine these. Like, Kiki plus anything on the curve will do. There's a few interesting cards in here, like Omnath. Like, this is purely value. I don't know how good it is. Well, that's a card that I could see being really good, or I could see being not so great in this style of deck. I'm just not sure because we're not really abusing the multiple lands, so you can really only get up to like 2 or 3 if you like sit on a fetch land. Um, yeah, and then there's Woodland Bellower. I don't like this card. I don't think that this card should be in the deck. That said, not my deck list. And thank you to Tony. Tony's actually the person that submitted the original Dredgestorm deck. So thank you, Tony. Tony, that said, I think Woodland Bellower stinks and probably shouldn't be in here. No offense to you. It's just like, it's a cute card, but I'm really spiky. And maybe I'll be proved wrong. That's entirely possible. Maybe you're just a genius and I'm a dummy. But like I just don't think there's too many things in here that I actually want to get with Woodland Bellower. So if you have any reasons why Bellower should be in the deck, let me know in the comments below. But to me, it just doesn't seem very good. And then obviously you have your Felidar Guardian Saheeli Rai combo. And there's a few tutors in this deck other than the Prime Speaker. So we have one Eladamri's Call, one Eldritch Evolution, and 2 Chord of Calling. I'll be honest, I don't understand those numbers at all. They seem really off to me. I'd probably like to see more tutors in this deck, especially if you're trying to combine A plus B. And maybe things like Renegade Railier or this Woodland Bellower could be um, more tutors. Just a thought. So that's the main deck. And like this deck's a little bit out of my normal wheelhouse. That said, I certainly have the skills to pilot it. It's just I haven't done so very often. In the board, a card I'm not a big fan of, Deafening Silence. How dare Tony submit a deck list with this atrocity in it? Uh, Shame on you, Tony. Path Exile, Saheeli. Mostly there to protect your creatures. It makes a lot of sense. I imagine that this is for Heliod combo. Yeah. This is kind of cool. I like the Destiny Spinner against control decks. I imagine it's going to die pretty quickly, but it's still kind of interesting. The rest of it is pretty self explanatory. Once again, I want to thank Tony for submitting this donation deck list, even if I'm not a fan of the Woodland Bellower. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope we 5-0. I really do. Yeah. So if you want to submit a deck list yourself, you can always go to theepicsfrom.com/donation decks. We have 3 different tiers for you to choose from. Tony submitted the base tier. So I'm going to play Tony's deck and then make suggestions at the end. If you sign up for the super tier, you get something very similar. That said, I will work with you to make your deck better before I play it, like removing Woodland Bellower. And on top of that, you get a percentage off merchandise from theepicsfrom.com/shop. And then in the epic tier, you get to join me in the video. You get to explain why Woodland Bellower might be in the deck and not just leave me hanging. You get to talk through your card choices, your pet deck, your baby. So if you're interested in that, you can do the epic tier. But on top of that, you get an even better discount from the Epics From shop. So make sure to check out the epicsfrom.com/donation decks. And if you would like to support this content in another way, you can always head to the shop directly, pick up a Storm 20 baseball tee, a pint glass, or a token pack. All right, that's my spiel. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Still try and hit 3,000 this month. We're about 40 away. We started this month over 300. So we're about 40 subscribers away from our 3,000 goal. And thank you to everyone who subscribed this month. I really do appreciate it and your support for this combo channel. That said, round number 1 will be coming up in just a second. I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again, thank you, Tony. I hope you're ready, because I'm actually, now that I've opened up a hand, I'm pretty excited to play this deck. It's just super sweet. We're facing Utopia Mycon, who I've played in Legacy a bunch. They tend to run stranger bug decks, like Bug Vial, with a bunch of like value creatures. I don't know what they're playing here today, but this seems great. We're going to keep this. Opening handing Kiki. How strange. So I think we probably want to get Stomping Grounds with this Misty. And then we have a red from Birds. So I think we're looking to hardcast Kiki that way. Bop. Got Hansen. Terrible 90s reference. A bunch of you Zoomers probably don't even know. You don't even know. And there went Hansen. Alright, just going to pass here. Does this deck even have Dryad Arbor? I don't remember seeing it in the mana base. I don't think it does. No Dryad Arbor. Okay. I guess that sort of makes sense. Like, you can't Green Sun for it. Alright, on their end step, I'm going to play Bounding Crisis. Looks like this just might be a, like, red-white control deck. We're going to tap down that creature. Okay. So it's pretty free here to attack Hoth. I don't have another red source to fetch for, so I can't hardcast Kiki next turn, I don't believe. Ooh, I do. I have the Triome. Okay. Crap. How do I view my deck? What 5-drops do we have in here? Zealous Conscripts. Could that win? Maybe I should have thought of that. I think I might have just punted a win. Because if I had fetched for a normal land, let's say hypothetically I played an untapped land this turn. I evolution into Zealous Conscripts, Steel Cough. No, that wouldn't have done it. Okay. And we got Hanson back. The brothers are back in town. Womp womp. Don't think I care about Karn. I'm wondering if there's a way for me to win on my turn. I don't think there is. So what I could do is I could sack. The problem is I have to cast Kiki. Like, that's the real thing here. So I can play Kiki, and then I could make 2 mana because I can copy Bird. But that just doesn't do enough. So I can get something at 4 or 3 mana. If I had 1 more mana, I think we have a win. But right now, I think we're just short. So another thing that I was looking at was if we could evolution away the bird, destroy this, get back, untap 1. But then that leaves us with 4 mana. We need 5. Okay, this is kind of cool. So I can blow up the on thin ice. Oh, I thought I could untap a land. I don't want to do that. Oh, that sucks. I thought I could untap a land, play Felidar, blink this, blow up the other on thin ice. That is not how that card works. Oh, that stunk. I'm also spending a lot of time in this deck. I have to make infinite creatures and attack. I think Tony just wants to watch me, like, be miserable trying to figure out lines here. Well, that's really good against me. Crap. Yikes. These are all enter abilities. I think we're just screwed. Yeah, I'm just going to concede this game. I don't know how we win. If you can think of a way to win that, let me know. But I'd rather not waste my time trying to figure it out. So it seems like we definitely want the Teferi. I'm getting rid of this card. I don't think it's very good. That seems pretty good here. There's nothing in the board that isn't a creature to blow up Torp Orb, which is sort of an issue. Ooh, I wonder if I somehow punted game one by not looking at sacking into Kiki instead of thinking that I needed a hardcast Kiki. I just realized that. So maybe that's a punt on my part. That might be a punt on my part. I'm going to board out this Omnath. I don't think that's what this matchup's about. Get rid of a Rallier. Actually, I think I want the Spellskite too. Nope, I want the Knight. Let's try this out. Okay, this seems solid. Alright, the third handsome brother of the match. Bop. Why am I always on thin ice? Come on. Play the other Bird of Paradise here. So it's interesting on whether or not we're supposed to play Vannifar next turn or Teferi. I don't care about that. Well, I guess I'm playing Teferi now. Come on. I don't think I need to minus Teferi there. That's a little awkward. I guess I should get the Stomping Ground. So we don't have an untapped red. Like, that's one thing that I've noticed so far is that, like, maybe we want a third untapped red source. Maybe that's just wrong, but I'm not sure. It's come up twice so far in the first match. Alright, so Tef is dead. And I messed up by tapping the Sanctum because now I can't play Saheeli. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, they just conceded. I don't think we actually had a win there, but I'll take it. And I am just going to resubmit. I think our deck was already perfect. So, and I played masterfully. Both games, actually. Perfect. Sideboarding and deck playing. So, if you're enjoying that, you know what to do. Subscribe. Alright, I guess I'll show while we wait. If you're already not a listener, make sure to check out the Eternal Glory podcast, primarily a legacy podcast, but it's myself, Bryant Cook, alongside modern Grand Prix champion Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms. We cover everything from, your like metagame updates to in-depth game theory that applies across multiple formats. Our most recent episode was one of those. Make sure to check it out. Okay. We love drawing Kiki, but I think we're going to try this. Maybe these are hands you're supposed to mulligan? I don't know. I think I'm actually going to hold on to the Gilded Goose because we're just going to allow them to play their removal on curve. So if we hold the Goose for a turn or two, we could actually play it and throw off their curve because right now we have nothing else we're doing. So why would we play out the Goose? And now they're stuck on lands? Yeah, like why would we do that? So we, in theory, could have played it there, because we could accelerate into conscripts this turn. But slow and steady wins the race. So many lands. Oh. Our opponent opting to not kill the golden goose. Let's get Triumph. Why not? Nothing but mana. Wow, our opponent's just not drawing anything. Hell yeah, I'd like to draw Wall Blossoms. I guess I can play my land. Alright, so I'm going to try to soak up a piece of removal here now that we have the Bounding Crassus. Or Crasis, however you would like to say it. Don't judge me. Sad. So right now we have 8 mana, which would be enough to win if they for some reason tap out for something that doesn't really affect us. Big Tough. Love to see ya. Thank you for stopping by. Alright, so we have 6 mana, 7 mana because I could untap Bird. We're 1 short, so I'm just going to pass here. It's do or die time for the opponent. Okay. And I realized that I could have flashed in Mounting Crisis or Crassus, whatever. But what's the point? And I could make a food token, not going to. I'm just going to try to win the game. Now we have the combo 1-0 with Tony's 4-color CopyPod. Wooch wooch. That was fun. Round number 2 will be coming up in just a second. Ready for round number 2? I hope so. And I'll try to make less bad Hanson puns in this round. I'm assuming that a bunch of you kiddos don't even know who Hanson is. So we're just going to focus on winning instead. Here we've opened up a hand without Kiki-Jiki, which is kind of shocking. I don't know if this is supposed to be a keep or not. It's just too clunky, I think. Is this hand even good? I mean, I guess I'm going to keep this, but I don't like it. So it's either corridor monitor or Saheeli. Okay. So I think we're probably getting breeding pool with this. Triumph actually seems a little bit better. Alright, I'm just going to play the monitor. I could play birds, but I don't think that's right. Like, let's just get this into play, I think. It's difficult for them to kill. I feel like if I play birds, it's soaking up my entire turn. And that's not something I'm really interested in doing. Okay. Next turn we can play Prime Speaker. Maybe next turn we can play Prime Speaker. I don't know. But the mono disruption deck is doing a pretty good job against us so far. Yikes. Like, I could hold on to this and discard it, so that way, eventually, if I draw a 4th land, I can play Prime Speaker. But they're just going to make it me sacrifice the creature to Liliana. What's the point? Alright, I'm going to concede this. We're not winning this game. I'd rather save my time. Okay. So, Spellskite seems like a no-brainer here. Honestly, Teferi might not be bad. Let's get rid of this Bellower. No one wants you. Maybe Omnath is good enough for this matchup. I have a feeling that Knight of Autumn actually is probably not super good here, or the Eidolon, so I could probably board those out. All right, let's try this out. I actually wish that there was more copies of Teferi in this list. Like, this seems like a deck I should be running. I know a lot of people hate the card, but like Teferi would just be very good as like a 3-of in the main deck. Stopping people from interacting with your combo just seems very good. All right, let's pray to draw fetch land on turn 3. So they're Jund. Okay. Fetch land. Yeah, baby. Hexdrinker versus Corridor Monitor. Who will win? Alright, so they're getting a Renegade Rallier here. And we can still play Misty into Rallier next turn. Boo! Alright, so no Renegade Rallier tricks this turn. I think I'm supposed to keep the 4th land. Alright, Triumph is probably the land we're getting here. Just gives us the most flexibility with top decks. Another land. Pray that we get to untap for some reason. So if they make an attack this turn, it'd be wise to not block for lightning bolt purposes. But this looks like it's a... Ooh, not Fatal Push. Okay. So I wonder if like Bellowers for matchups like this where you end up with one creature, you can go up to 6, get another untapper for Vannifar out, and then like copy Bellower again and just like keep on doing that. Maybe that's what it's for. Land was not ideal. Lightning Bolt would be pretty good here. And our opponent has one. So maybe this isn't a matchup where you're supposed to board out Bellower against like heavy removal decks. So they're bringing back Kroxa. I'm going to end up discarding this Misty. So we're taking 7 here. So I would need to top deck the win here. And I don't know if we can actually win. With any given draw, I don't know if we can win. That's interesting. Okay, well, we needed a creature off that. So I think we're probably dead now. Like, if I had a 2-drop off that, that would have made things interesting. Because then I could have gotten Skyclave Apparition and exile the Kroxa. And it just doesn't matter. We're dead. Womp womp. 1-1. Welcome back. Round number 3. We are on the play. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep these. Sure, I guess. When I'm mulliganing to 5 now. To 4. Alright, so let's see what our opponent's up to. Tron. Okay, that makes sense for a deck that's willing to mulligan to 4. Ah. Why, Dak? Well, I mean, we might be able to beat a mulligan to 4. And now they have the power plant too. So next turn they have Tron. We might not be able to beat the mulligan to 4. 2 turns away. Yeah, we're totally going to lose to the mull to 4. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. Just a turn too short. Maybe you're supposed to mulligan into Birds of Paradise effects every game. So they have Ulamog. 8 mana. So it's crazy, but I think you're supposed to cast Kiki here. Because Kiki is, like, let's say our opponent misses here on the land to cast Ulamog. If they Karn us and then remove a land, it's easier to draw any land than an untapped red land. But we just lost to the mulligan to 4. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot for this matchup. Maybe just try that out. Sure. This seems like a fine hand. Maybe that's my own fault for keeping hands without acceleration in them. Alright, Chord is okay. We really wanted to hit a land there so that next turn we could slam the Prime Speaker. Okay, and there's the land. Question is whether or not I should play Kiki-Jiki here. And if I want to, am I supposed to cast Chord first? So I can Chord for 1 and then play Kiki-Jiki. Is that worth it? I don't know if I made the right play that turn. Well, they have Tron, so now they can't play Karn. Liberated, at least. Hey, that's a good sign. Old Woodland Bellower. Terrific draw. Best card in the deck, definitely. So here we have the Prime Speaker. If we get to untap, we'll win. But that's a pretty big if. Part of me wonders why this deck doesn't have Damping Sphere in the board. It seems like it should be in here. Okay. Like, I definitely feel like there should be Damping Spheres in the board for this matchup. Can we win? So here we get Hydroid Crisis. And I realized that I messed up by blinking the wall, because in theory I could have stopped myself from winning by drawing one of the parts. Now we get Kiki. Alright, and our opponent's going to concede. Very nice of them. Alright, so we stole game number 2. Is this a curve we want for, like, Ugin, Karn? I feel like it is. Let's try this out. Can't keep that. Sure. I think we're supposed to get rid of the monitor. Okay. So now if we get lucky and draw a cat, we're in business. Whoops. Come on. The lag is real. Not looking good for us. Okay, that's fine. Not natural Tron. Alright, so I think if we get to untap, we probably win. This is looking good for us. I think we got it. Actually, wait. Am I talking too soon? Because I don't have another untap effect other than the crisis, right? Or maybe that's good enough. Honestly, the crisis might just be good enough here. Well, the hippocamp's in my hand. I completely forgot about hippocamp being in my hand. So I can go get... Okay, I think I've got it. We're going to go get cat. And now we're going to blink corridor. Untap prime speaker. And then we'll sacrifice cat for Kiki. Two one. Oh, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you're ready to cat combo because that's what this hand does. All right, we're on the draw, and this is match number 4. I'm ready to get this. Affinity, okay. That seems like a woo. You get to see my winnings, my compensation prize for sucking in the Legacy Challenge. All right, so we're gonna lead here on Gill the Goose. This is a situation where the goose is worse than birds because we could turn 2 birds or turn to Saheeli, but then we're a mana short for Felidar. Ooh. Actually, hold on. I think I can turn to Saheeli, copy Goose, which will make another food. Ooh. Well, Sorcerer's Spyglass is going to shut that down. Unfortunate. I think they might be able to name... Okay. I'm not, never mind. That's part of the cost. I think I'm just going to play Monitor here. So we do have a few answers in the deck to this Spyglass. Okay. Hmm. This is pretty free because we get to blink the goose. Huh. I'm an aggro deck. This deck is very mana hungry. That's one thing I've noticed about it so far. I've also wondered if like 10 1 mana bird effects is enough. Like maybe this is the style of deck where you also want like a couple Llanowar elves or something. It's just a thought. Waiting on our opponent here. They're deep in the tank. Okay. Hmm. We're almost to the point where this ink moth is going to kill us. Yeah, I'm not feeling too positive about this game at the moment. This is nothing. This main deck Spyglass just like crushed me this game. Honestly, I sort of don't get why I'm alive. I think that our opponent might have been able to kill us last turn. Hmm. Like, this should be pretty easy. I think all they have to do is add counters to Hangerback, sacrifice Hangerbacks to Ravenger, and then sacrifice Ravenger to itself, put the counters on Inkmoth, shoot the Gilded Goose Swing. It just doesn't matter though, because even if we draw the removal for the Spyglass, they can just kill all of our stuff in response. Oh, I thought that they were attacking me. Whoops. I would have blocked. But then again, it just doesn't matter because they could shoot it when I go to copy. Like, it just doesn't matter. Alright, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to pick this one up, go to game 2. Our opponent should have killed us that turn. I don't know if we want these or not. Like, I could see Teferi being a card we actually don't bring in here. Maybe that's wrong, though. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going to try boarding like this. Maybe... I don't know. Like, I sort of don't get why Call is better than Evolution. Like, Evolution seems like it's significantly better, at least in my opinion. The fact that I'm paying 2 mana and that creature doesn't go into play sort of bothers me. Unlike Evolution. There's so many slots we could board out. Like, we could not bring it to Fury. We could board out a Prime Speaker. That's another thing I questioned. I also wondered, like, if we should board out a land. And I just never pulled the trigger on any of these. This hand just too clunky. Ugh. Am I supposed to go to 5? This hand's just like not very good. Saheeli. Well, this goose is about to be loose. Or Saheeli. I think I said Shah. That's annoying. So I'm trying to think what's the best play to do here. And I think I'm just going to path this. I thought about playing Skyclave, but the problem is that it just sets me so far back. And this way, I can just make another food. And then, well, let's not give them extra life for no reason. This way I still have mana. If I play Skyclave, I have next to no mana for the next few turns. Okay, so this means I only have to sacrifice one of the food tokens. Felt like I had to kill Emery because of the spell Skite. Spell Skite stops me from winning the game, which is kind of an issue. It's a big hanger back. So if I draw a land next turn, I have a pretty easy kill, but I might have one anyway. Like, I guess I could board out one of the Wall of Blossoms and bring back in something, but I don't know. Wall of Blossoms can theoretically, like, fix your hand or something along those lines. So I don't know if we care about a bunch of flying creatures at the moment. So we need to block this. Wait, am I dead? Maybe I was supposed to double block. Or block there. I think I might be dead now. That was just me not thinking. Yeah, I'm dead. I needed a block with Skyclave too. That was stupid. That's a bummer. Okay, well, my misplay cost me this round. This didn't even matter. I think we could have won based on what was on the board. Unfortunately, we are now 2-2. Let's try to get round number 5. Okay, welcome to the final match of the league. We're on the draw, and this seems fine. I'm going to try it. You can see the awkwardness of the triumph a little bit right here. That was a good draw. I'm not quite sure what we're facing at the moment. Alright, so it's probably the land destruction deck if I had to guess. Pillage. Oh, what a good start. We were just getting crushed. Or more likely stomped. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's go to game 2. Sorry, Tony. That was not a pretty game. Okay, so... I guess Rex Sage is okay. I don't even know how good Spellskite is. It could theoretically redirect Pillage. I think I'm just going to submit this. And once again, if you want to support this content, theepicstorm.com/shop. Game 2 are on the play. Cannot keep. These hands are clunky. I guess the bright side here is I can sit on the Misties until I get the third land for Railier. So, going back to the tutor thing, between Chord of Calling, Evolution, and Eladamri's Call, I really think that it should probably just be 4 Evolution if I had to guess. I think splitting them up like this, like if this was Evolution, I'd be a lot happier with this hand. The fact that it just like puts Kiki or whatever into play at such a low cost is really nice. Like Chord is kind of clunky, so is Call. Like I just think that they should be 4 Evolution. Excuse me. Against my better judgment, I'm going to try to play Bird. Bop. I mean, I opened the league with it. I should probably close with Bop, Hansen, you know. I think that means that I accidentally just said I'm not expecting to win this game. I didn't mean that. We're going to win this. Yeah. So that shuts off the Railier play next turn too. I think I'm going to let that resolve. That's kind of stinky. So I can play Rallier, and I think that's it. Not a super big fan of this card. Like if I was to play this deck, I could see keeping one. I get why it's in the deck. You can Vannifar away a 1 or a 2 into the Rallier and get those back. And I think that we just lost the game. But like this card, it's just not very strong. Like I feel like I'm playing a pretty weak card on my deck. In hindsight, I guess I was supposed to fetch her the second basic forest. And I'm just getting destroyed here. All right, I'm going to call it. So, Tony, my apologies. We started off hot and then cooled down. But we went 2-3, which isn't the worst. Let's take a look at the deck list. So, I thought the mana base was fine for the most part. I don't see anything too egregious. We did have a few opportunities in the first round to be better if we had a third untapped red source. That's something that I think maybe we want to see, possibly instead of one of these lands. Just throwing that out there. The 8 birds were fine. I sort of wanted 2 more. So I don't know if like 2 Llanowar Elves is crazy or something along those lines, but if we had more accelerants, I think this deck would be even better. Just because like I do think maybe you're supposed to mulligan to those effects, and I didn't do that early in this league. Like your draws are always better when you have them, so maybe we should be playing more of these Birds of Paradise style effects. Quarter monitors were fine. Walls are okay. Part of me wonders if they could be like Sylvan Caratids or something along those lines, just to mana fix, but also occupy that 2 mana slot. Like I said, I think that these should probably just be for evolution. The Chord of Callings, like I think it would just make accelerating in a Prime Speaker much better. These were some of the worst cards in the deck, in my opinion. Like I never had the resources to cast Chord of Calling or Call. They're just super clunky. Eidolon, I don't know if this is a main deck card. I do like it in this deck, but maybe it should be board. Skyclave was fine. The Ralliers, not super big on those. I would like to see like 2 copies of Teferi main. I think that this is a deck that could really abuse that, especially if you're adding in more creature accelerants. That would be a strength for this deck. But the Ralliers in general, I'm pretty low on. I think you could probably keep 1, but 2 is definitely too many. Not a huge fan. Omnath also, like, maybe I just didn't play correctly, but it didn't seem like it had a good spot this league. You're welcome to tell me if I'm wrong on that. I certainly could be. I could see it being great, but it wasn't for me in these specific set of matches. And then Woodland Bellower, I get why it's in the deck. I just don't think it should be here. I'd like to see something else. I don't think you need to sacrifice your conscripts or your Kiki in order to get up to 6. Especially when you're getting back like a Rallier. Like, I don't want any of these creatures. Like, come on. Get that card out of here. In the board, I'll be honest, I don't love the sideboard. It felt like it was very narrow. I do think we want something to beat Torp Orb. I would have liked to see Damping Sphere. Like, this is definitely a Damping Sphere deck. Like, we could really play it in this. Forward Path was probably too many. 3's more likely going to be correct, in my opinion. You don't need 3 Deafening Silence. Like, this deck is very heavy on the combo hate. Like, you have a main deck, Eidolon of Rhetoric, 3 Deafening Silence, Gaddock. Like, it's a lot of combo hate. Especially when Heliod combos the best deck in the format, which ignores all of it. So I think Damping Sphere would probably be better. We didn't face Heliod, so this didn't come up. Shalai, we could have boarded in against John. I don't remember if we did, but that seems fine there. I don't know. Like, I just feel like our board wasn't. Maybe it's just the matchups we had, but I didn't feel like we didn't really utilize it. Like, there's a lot of unused slots. So if you have suggestions, make sure to leave those in the comments below. I'd like to thank Tony once again for submitting this donation deck. This is Tony's second deck. And if you're interested in Tony's brews, check out the first Dredge Storm deck that Tony submitted here on this very channel. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.